Ladies and gentlemen, ladies, gentlemen, Mayor of Chelmsford, welcome to B-Bar. We're here all here this evening, as you know, because Malcolm is sadly going to be leaving the Meadows after 10.5 years as centre manager. Tonight we want to celebrate his time with us in Chelmsford, and to help us do just that, I'd like to welcome a long-term friend of Malcolm's and the Meadows. He's the internationally renowned photographer. Please welcome Len Dance.
Lady Mayor, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, from here on in, this speech goes downhill. Now they tell me that a good speech should be like that of a woman's skirt, long enough to cover the essentials, but short enough to maintain an interest. Now I don't mind if when I'm speaking you start looking at your watches, but I will take exception if you start banging them to see if they're still working. Now when Sue surprised me by asking me to pay tribute to Malcolm, who we're all going to miss terribly, I said, who's going to be there? So she said, oh, it's just a little do for the firm. So I said, okay, I'd be happy to do it. It would be an honour. Now, I thought about this, and I thought, well, Malcolm, 10 years, everybody knows what a benefit he's been to Chelmsford. Everybody knows all the good things he's done. What on earth do you say about this guy? So I phoned Sue back, and I said, look, Sue, what do you want me to say about Malcolm? I said, where do I go? So she said, oh, Len, say a few nice things. The mayor's going to be there. Say a few nice things about the lady mayor. The town council are going to be there. Say a few nice things about the town council. Roger's going to be there. Say a few nice things about the meadow. Obviously, a few nice things about Malcolm. And say a few nice things about yourself. So I thought I'd do a speech, and I did some notes to this effect. Well, obviously, in the rush coming out tonight, the first thing I'm looking for are my notes. I couldn't find them anywhere. So I said to my wife, darling, have you seen my notes anywhere for Malcolm's speech? So she said, well, no, what did you do with them? I said, well, I left them on the table in the hall. So she said, oh, there. She said, I thought that was my prescription. I said, prescription? Well, what did you do with it? She said, I took it to the chemist and had it made up. I said, well, what did you get? She said, a back scratcher and some eye wash. So, look, perhaps it's better that I speak from the heart, okay? Now, Malcolm, I've been a friend of Malcolm's now for 10 years. I'll always remember first meeting him. I wanted to get into the Meadows and have an exhibition. And the first thing he said to me is, oh, would you like to come to one of our party nights, one of our quiz nights? Straight away, I knew we were on the same wavelength. It was a charity thing, and we were going, I've always liked to help out with charities, and ever since then, Malcolm and I have been staunch friends. Now, Malcolm, I've been to nearly 70 countries around the world. He's an absolutely staunch ally of Chelmsford. Chelmsford are really going to miss Malcolm Tilsed. They are really going to miss Malcolm. I wouldn't mind if he was a charismatic individual. That's what's so annoying about it. He quietly beavers away about his work, and he gets so many things done, and he gets so many people to do so many things. He's an unbelievable person. During the course of my profession, I've met thousands and thousands of people from one end of the social spectrum to the other, but I've never met anybody like Malcolm. By the way, he's yet to buy me lunch. If this doesn't do it, nothing will. Okay? Now, So there's very little else I can say. I know some other people want to say some things, but it's been an absolute joy and a privilege to become a friend of Malcolm Tilsed. And I'd like us to toast Malcolm tonight. Oh, hang on, there's just one thing. Somebody pushed this envelope in my hand tonight. It's addressed to Malcolm. Dear Malcolm, does this mean it's all off? Land lease. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to give a toast to Malcolm Tilsed.
Thanks, Len. Last year we were particularly proud to be the winner of the Community Award in the Mid-Essex Business Awards, and this recognised projects like the Harvest for the Hungry, Shop Mobility, various community initiatives and charity work which Malcolm has been so heavily involved in. And I'd just like for you to welcome Roger Stark, the founder of the Harvest for the Hungry, to talk a bit more about Malcolm's involvement. Welcome, Roger Stark.
Malcolm, where is he? Where's Malcolm? There he is. He's hiding, isn't he? Those of us that know Malcolm well will know that Malcolm is famous for a number of things. Over these last 10 years, Malcolm has entertained us. And Malcolm has become particularly famous for his very sad stories. Before I say too much, we would just like to present to Malcolm a very special present, just in case he gets a little bit emotional later on. Malcolm. Congratulations. A sad story. We met Malcolm about 8 years ago when we started Harvest for the Hungry, and we were looking for a shop, and the chaplaincy team went and knocked on Malcolm's door, and we ended up with a shopping centre. And the rest that people say is kind of history. But a lot has happened over these last 8 years, and Malcolm has been very much at the centre of making it all happen. At this sort of do, people say nice things, don't they? I want to confess this evening. These last 8 years or so, we have been calling Malcolm names. It's true. Some of you will know that on the television, on the BBC, there is a programme called Malcolm in the Middle. And it's about a little boy who's always trying to help other people. Yeah. And we've had a nickname in Harvest for the Hungry for Malcolm. And it's been Malcolm in the Meadows. Because he's always trying to help people, whether it's charities or children or causes, whatever it is. Malcolm has always been willing to help other people. He's done a fantastic job in meeting other people's needs and going the extra mile to help them. When we started Harvest, Malcolm said, I'll do anything I can to help. And true to his word, he's got involved big time. He's been out to Bulgaria more times than I have. He's been there over 15 times now. He's regularly supported the launch and became famous for telling one particular story at one launch, which featured a chicken. Hands up if you remember the chicken. Yes, some of us don't. And that chicken became famous. It became a bit of a standing joke. This one chicken, how it fed 5,000 children, and the next village, and the village beyond. Just one chicken. And in recognition of Malcolm's famous chicken story, we'd like to make another very serious presentation. Malcolm, famous for his stories because he's been involved in so many different things. Malcolm in the Meadows has helped out and helped other people do a lot of things. When you're at this sort of do, you say all the nice things, but there's one bad thing I must mention. Steady. When I've been to Bulgaria with Malcolm, I've had the unfortunate experience of sharing a room with Malcolm. Some of you know what I'm going to say, but Malcolm can snore for England. Anybody that's ever been in the same room as him when he's asleep will know that he can drown anybody out. And often, we'd be on an aeroplane all night flying to Bulgaria. We'd drive for 3 hours up a mountain and get to our hotel. We'd find our rooms, getting dead beat. Within 2 seconds, Malcolm is asleep, snoring his head off, and I'm awake for the rest of the night. And we've tried everything to cure him. We've tried herbal remedies, we've tried tablets, we've tried special stuff you shoot up his nose. We've tried everything. And even Malcolm has tried what he calls the snoring ring. You place it on your finger and it's meant to stop those nocturnal noises. I want to tell you, Malcolm, it doesn't work. Malcolm in the Meadows has done a lot for other people, and I think it's all the extra things that he's been willing to do. For the town, for the county, for other people. And he's learned something, I think, about giving to others. And we've learned from him what a great man he is in thinking of others. Tonight, we want to thank him for all that he's done. Particularly, not everybody will know, but a few years ago, we went to an orphanage and we saw some toilets and they were pretty disgusting. And Malcolm came back with a few others, and within the space of 6 months, we'd raised £22,000. And that was very much down to Malcolm, using all his contacts and friends in doing that. And in recognition of that, we'd like to give him another present. Okay, you've got to come and get it, Mal. And this is for his new cup of tea in his new job. It has a picture of the toilets on it, and it says, Malcolm flush with success. And every time you stir it, you can think of us. But make sure you stir the lumps in, won't you? But lastly to say, I think Malcolm's lasting legacy will be for the difference that he's made to so many different people. And in particular, I want to thank him for the difference he's made to some orphans in an orphanage in Bulgaria. Their lives have improved tremendously because of what Malcolm has done over these last few years. And I think he's shown us what it is to get involved and to give and to keep going on giving to those in need. So, Malcolm in the Meadows, we'd like to thank you for all that you've done. We won't be able to call him his nickname now, Malcolm in the Meadows. Maybe we need to call him Tilsed by the Thames or something. But whatever, we wish you every success, Malcolm, and every blessing in your new job, and trust that you'll go on giving to others in a special way. We've got a few special gifts for you from the Harvest team, Trish. And David's here somewhere. David, come.
Sorry, can you read that? Sorry.
You have to show them, David.
We've also got our Harvest for the Hungry t-shirt. So when you're walking around your new job this weekend, I'll remind you of the mortgage. Right, the house.
Like it. It's good. Good.
Well, for another month in Malcolm, we get a souvenirs job. In Bulgaria.
Ladies and gentlemen, can we raise our glasses to Malcolm in the Meadows?
Roger and the Harvest team. I'd just like to welcome the Mayor of Chelmsford, Councillor Margaret Hutchin, who would like to say a few words.
Well, I did say to Sue this morning, no, this is not the mayor's night, this is Malcolm's night. I'm going to keep quiet. However, I thought really I ought to say something very sincerely, Malcolm, on behalf of the Borough Council. Very, very big thank you, particularly on behalf of the past 10 years of mayors, whose charities you have helped supported, not least my own. And we just thank you very, very much. I have invited Mum to Parliament to meet all these past years before he actually leaves us. So I would like now just to add my appreciation and thanks to Mum and be permitted by you all to leave any further words at the end of January. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you very much, the Mayor of Chelmsford. Last year, Lend-Lease became the new owners of the Meadows, and representing them tonight is Claire Yeadon. Please welcome Claire Yeadon.
Well done, Claire.
Good evening, everybody. It's lovely to see so many faces here. Some of whom I've met already. So, and how can I follow that? The Harvest for the Hungry and Len. And just want to say, on behalf of Lend-Lease, we've sadly missed. And in the short time that we've known you, I've been very impressed by the work that Malcolm has done both in Chelmsford for the Meadows and for Chelmsford as a town. the team on site, with Sue and Gemma and Teresa and the rest of the guys in the security. We hope that you'll stay with us and stay with the Meadows and continue to make the Meadows a success. And it's that play such a critical part in Chelmsford and the success of the town centre. So thank you, Malcolm. Sorry to miss you, and the Dome is going to be very, very lucky to have you. Thank you.
I would just like to say that over the time that Malcolm's in at the Meadows, he has achieved so very much. He's developed a fantastic centre, we're all very proud of, proud to work there. His endless enthusiasm and passion for life lifts us all. And I just want to say personal thanks for the support. You're a fantastic manager, and I know Gemma, Teresa, Derek and the team are valued very highly. You will sadly be missed, really missed, not only at the Meadows but in the town of Chelmsford, as you've heard already. So I'd just like to invite you all to join me. Raise your glasses, find a glass and raise your glasses please, to wish Malcolm good health, happiness and a fantastic future at the O2.
How can you actually follow that, really? I think the fact is that I am quite speechless about tonight to see so many. And it's difficult enough speaking without interruptions. But basically, what I would like to say is, can I talk or not? Do you want a quick speech, a sad speech, or a long speech? A sad one. I think looking around tonight, if I just, and I haven't prepared a speech, honestly I haven't, I wasn't expecting to say anything at all, but I think it's quite touching that so many of you decided to come in tonight to wish me well. And I have a confession to make that I actually do not manage the Meadows. I do not manage the Meadows. The Meadows manages itself. All I do is manage the people. And I am proud and privileged to have a fantastic team in Sue, Teresa and Gemma. I've got a fantastic team in Derek, the cleaning and security team, and I'm proud to have such a great relationship with all the contractors and the people that supply and service the Meadows. But on top of that, obviously, we've talked about harvest, we've talked about shop mobility, and as you look around the room, you see people here like John Reeves. Now, John came to me, and I have a passion, an absolute passion for people. And believe it or not, I've got a passion for John, and he came to me with this wacky, silly idea that he wants to walk to the World Cup. And I believed that this man could do it because, I believed in John. Now, John's had a tragedy over the last 12 months, but he's walked the World Cup, and we supported him. And I stand here as a humble servant of Chelmsford, and I admire people who do so much for the town in John Reeves. So well done, John. And it's great as you look around the room, people like Ted Herring, who, we do lots of activity for us, and leg dance, obviously. But the biggest and best thanks goes to all of you tonight, and I thank you very much indeed. It sounds corny, but from the bottom of my heart, without any tears, thank you. I wish you health and happiness and all the best for the future. Thank you very much indeed.